Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Ryan's Travels. My name is Ryan. Please don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm, and you know what else it does. So, with that being said, today what I want to talk about is a lot of people have been asking me, why did I become a digital nomad? And so it's a pretty good, well, fairly easy story to talk about. During the pandemic, of course, we saw how evolution changed and people started becoming remote workers and everything else. And when I started my mortgage company, which is what I do have and own now and still run, and when I started my mortgage company, I was competing a lot in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I still do now to this day. And I wanted to be able to travel around the country, even before the pandemic started. Well, it actually started right around the same time. And I wanted to be able to travel and compete. So 2019, August of 2019 is when I started my business. I actually started in August. I didn't close my first loan until like November-ish. And then so it was November, December, January, February. I went to jiu-jitsu camp in Mexico in February. And at that time is when we had learned about COVID and everything else. And everyone was kind of blowing it off, didn't know what it was. But then, of course, we know what happened. So I had the intention of traveling around and being able to compete and, do all this stuff. And then, of course, COVID happened. Seeing how everything happened with COVID, I decided that I really wanted to not waste any more time living or not living. I didn't want to just work, and that be it. So I actually made a goal list, and I put on there to do two things. I wanted to go to Asia. Well, actually, I wanted to go to Asia. And every year I was traveling to Europe, taking my kids somewhere else with my kids. This year I want to make sure I go to Asia. And then what ended up happening was, after the pandemic was going through, I'd gone to my first USC VIP experience. That was in Phoenix. And at that time, I really loved it. And I was making a lot of money because of the mortgage business and how good it was doing. And then I saw that they had gone to Phoenix and a few other UFC events. And then what ended up happening was I found out that they announced UFC Singapore. And I put that together with, wow, I really want to go and do that with, oh, I have a goal to go to Asia. And this is actually in 2021. By that time, that's what the goal actually was written for. So June of 2021, I ended up going to Singapore. And then after Singapore, I came to Thailand. And then I came to Vietnam for a week. And then I remember as I was going home, I got on the plane, and it was such a change for me. Like, it was so amazing that I was almost having a panic attack flying home. I didn't want to go home. I was like, man, this really sucks. I don't want to go home. I had so much fun, and you get such a culture shock. It was just awesome. So I land, and then literally that was the end of June, beginning of July. I went to Vegas for UFC in July, over July 4th. I took my son to Portugal, and during this time, it's not leaving my head. I'm thinking, man, I really want to. And what if I just became a digital nomad? Because this, with the remote working before COVID and after COVID, is a huge thing. And I thought, kind of small-minded, I want to travel around the country to compete. Well, I never thought about really traveling around the whole world. Like, what if I just travel the world? Like, who cares if it's in between Arizona and Pennsylvania? Why not just Arizona and wherever? So I started doing the numbers, and I realized that my overhead, or at home to live, I was spending about $9,000 a month. And I saw that if I came to Thailand, or started becoming a digital nomad, dropping my house payment, dropping my car payment, dropping my homeowner's insurance, dropping my renter's insurance, and dropping my car insurance, and a few other things that were not really needed, especially if I was traveling, I dropped that to about $2,000 a month, as in raw, real overhead, stuff I really have to pay for, right? So it was really crazy. That would be moving out to Thailand, actually. So that's why I really started playing the numbers and seeing how I could make things happen. My house lease was up, and I was like, hey, why don't we just give it a try and see what happens? And I was really, really nervous. But what ended up happening was, once I left, I just let everything happen as it could. I had enough money, of course, to travel around. I had enough money because I needed $7,000 less per month than to stay home. Worst that could happen is, everyone told me, you can just come back home, like, no big deal. It turns out that I go home quite a bit now anyway, because of visa issues, my prescription I can't get out here, and a few other reasons why. Overall, it's been really cool. You know what I mean? The cost of living is so inexpensive. The people are so much nicer out here. And I could travel everywhere, but what ended up happening was, when I decided to travel, I flew back to Bangkok. And when I got to Bangkok, I really only spent like 1 or 2 days here in Bangkok. And I wanted to really see it. So I spent like a whole other week in Bangkok, looked around, whatever else. And I knew I was going to go to Phuket, and I had, plans to go on to like the Philippines and whatever else. But my friend told me about a city called Pattaya, as the Americans call it. They call it Pattaya or Pattaya, but it's actually pronounced Pattaya. And so I thought I would come down here and check it out. And I came down here, I checked it out, and I've never left. So it's a really cool city. Yes, there's a lot of adult stuff. Yes, but there's also a lot of family things to do here. But the walkability, the internet's on fiber here. Like, it has everything that I need. It's just a lot less expensive than America. No drama. I literally can walk anywhere. I got jujitsu here. It's not Gracie Baja, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll open one day soon. Never know. But yeah, it's been a great time. So that's basically the story of how I became a digital nomad. I still talk to my family and my friends and everybody else. Like I said, I go back every couple of months, and it's cool because the time when I go back is actually time to refill up on things I can't get here, which I have in other videos. Check out the rest of my channel. But that's basically the story. So I'm here. I'm trying to work out another visa issue. I had an education visa for about a year here. It ran out, and so now I'm trying to figure out what the next step is. They also have a visa for retirees, or a retirement visa. We have to be 50. I'm not 50 yet, but we'll see what happens. So I hope you enjoy the story. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it very much. Please don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. Also, if there's a particular topic you'd like me to tackle and discuss on here, please don't hesitate to put it in the comment section. Have a great day.